Hi everyone, I'm Emma, a 28-year-old nurse at Memorial Hospital, and I've got a story that's straight out of a drama series. It's about my mother-in-law, Jennifer, and how she tried to take over my life. It all started 2 years ago when I met Brian at a friend's barbecue. He was charming, kind, and we hit it off instantly. After a whirlwind romance, we tied the knot in a beautiful ceremony. That's when I first noticed something odd about Jennifer. At the time, I chalked it up to wedding stress. "You're part of our close-knit family now," she said at our first dinner after the honeymoon. "I'll guide you through everything." I didn't realize that her guidance was code for control. Things escalated after I got pregnant with our daughter, Esla. Jennifer's true colors came out. She started showing up unannounced, saying things like, "A first-time mother needs her family close by." She'd barge into our home, take over tasks without asking, and constantly instruct Brian. "Make sure Emma doesn't lift anything heavy. In fact, I'll come by every day to help." My best friend Julia, who works with me at the hospital, was the first to notice something was off. During one of Jennifer's surprise visits, she whispered, "Girl, is she always like this?" as Jennifer reorganized my kitchen cabinets without so much as a word to me. "She means well," I said, though I was starting to feel uneasy. After Isla was born, things went from bad to worse. Jennifer criticized everything: how I held the baby, how I fed her, even how I dressed her. "The baby needs another layer, Emma." Really, in my day, we knew how to care for infants properly. My parents, Sonia and Alexander, lived 2 hours away and tried to support me from afar. "Sweetheart," my mom reassured me during one of our calls, "you're doing a wonderful job with Isla. Don't let anyone tell you otherwise." But Brian, he didn't see the problem. "Mom's just trying to help, babe. She raised me just fine, didn't she?" he'd say whenever I brought it up. "That's not the point," I argued. "I feel like she's taking over our lives." Jennifer even started telling neighbors she was practically raising Isla because I worked full-time. Such a shame. I overheard her telling Mrs. Parker next door. "Mothers these days choose work over their babies. Thank goodness I'm here to step in." Julia became my rock during those early months. "Document everything," she advised. "Every criticism, every unannounced visit, every time she undermines you. Trust me, you'll need this later." At the time, I didn't understand why she was so insistent, but I followed her advice. Then came the day that changed everything. Asla was 3 months old, and I had just finished feeding her when Jennifer barged through the front door without knocking. Why isn't she in the outfit I bought her? And honestly, Emma, breastfeeding again. I brought formula. It's so much better for tracking how much she eats. I was too stunned to respond. This became a pattern. She showed up daily, sometimes multiple times, and even inserted herself into Isla's first pediatrician appointment. While Dr. Thompson and I reviewed Isla's growth chart, Jennifer burst into the exam room. "I simply had to be here," she announced. "A grandmother has every right to know about her grandbaby's health. Now, doctor, I've noticed some concerning things about how she's being fed." "Ma'am," Dr. Thompson interrupted, "I'll need you to wait outside. This is a private appointment." That night, Brian and I had our biggest fight yet. "Your mother completely undermined me at the doctor's office," I said. "She's just concerned about Isla. Why are you always so defensive?" He shot back. "Defensive? Brian, she's telling everyone I'm an unfit mother. Mrs. Parker asked me if I leave Isla crying for hours while I chat on the phone." Things took an even darker turn when Julia came over one afternoon. While Jennifer was watching Isla, we noticed my bedroom drawers slightly open and my diary sitting out on the shelf, crinkled, as though it had been read. "She's going through my personal things," I whispered, horrified. Jennifer's interference didn't stop there. Parenting books I purchased disappeared, replaced by outdated ones she brought over. And then I discovered a spare key on Brian's carrying. "Oh, Mom asked for a spare key for emergencies," Brian explained casually. "It makes sense, right?" "You gave her a key to our house without asking me?" I demanded. "Don't start, Emma. She's family." Julia sat with me one evening, going over the log I'd been keeping. "Look at this pattern," she said. "The unannounced visits, the rumors, the snooping. She's trying to control your entire life." It all clicked when I found messages on Brian's phone. Jennifer had been texting him, painting me as unstable. "Your wife seems overwhelmed, honey. Maybe she needs professional help." I worried about my grandbaby. That was Jennifer's mantra, and every day brought new battles. One day, I came home from work to find she'd rearranged Isla's nursery, claiming the original layout was dangerous. Another time, she scheduled a photographer for Isla's 3-month pictures without consulting me, then called me difficult when I said I couldn't attend. I've never seen such disrespect for family traditions, she declared to our church group. In my day, young mothers appreciated help instead of being so stubborn. The final straw came when I caught her rifling through our financial documents. She was supposed to be watching Isla. "Just trying to help organize things, dear," she said with a sweet smile. "You seem so overwhelmed." That was it. I knew something had to change, but I had no idea how far Jennifer would go to maintain control. After 6 exhausting months, I planned a weekend trip to visit my parents with Isla. They haven't seen their granddaughter in weeks. "We'll leave Friday after my shift," I told Brian. "You're going to your parents?" "Well, I'll come too. Isla needs my supervision during the car ride," Jennifer announced. "No, Jennifer, this is my time with my family." "Your family?" Her voice sharpened. "I am your family. Brian, tell your wife she's being ridiculous." Brian shifted uncomfortably. "Maybe Mom could come." "Absolutely not. I'm taking my daughter to see my parents." Jennifer's face flushed red. "If you take my grandbaby without proper supervision, I'll be forced to take action. You're clearly not thinking straight." "Are you threatening me?" I asked, my voice steady but firm. "I'm protecting my granddaughter." I packed our bags anyway, and Friday afternoon, Isla and I hit the road. 20 minutes into the drive, my phone blew up with frantic messages from Brian. "Mom's hysterical. She's saying you've kidnapped Isla. Come back now." Then my parents called. "Emma," my dad said, his voice tight, "the police are here. They're saying something about a kidnapping." When I arrived at my parents' house, I walked into the living room to find 2 officers standing awkwardly. Jennifer had told them I was mentally unstable and had taken Isla during a psychotic break. "Here's Isla's birth certificate. Here's my marriage license," I said, holding them out with shaking hands. "I'm her mother, taking her to visit her grandparents." The officers' expressions shifted as they realized what had happened. "Ma'am," one of them said to me, "making a false police report is a serious offense. Your mother-in-law could face charges." My mom was livid. "That woman called the police on my daughter for visiting us. Alexander, call our lawyer." Minutes later, Brian stormed in, having driven 2 hours after Jennifer's meltdown. "Where's Isla? Is she okay?" he asked breathlessly. "She's fine," I said, glaring at him. "Sir," one officer interrupted, "your mother lied to the police. She could be charged with filing a false report." Brian's face crumpled as reality set in. During the chaos, Julia called. "Emma, you need to know something," she said urgently. "Remember Linda? Brian's ex?" Jennifer did the same thing to her, called her workplace with false accusations, spread rumors, even called the police once, claiming Linda stole from her. "I found her on Facebook. She's willing to make a statement." Brian overheard everything on speakerphone. His face went pale. "There's more," Julia continued. "3 other women in your church group reached out to me. Jennifer's been doing this for years, controlling, manipulating, destroying relationships. They're all willing to come forward." The police left with a warning for Jennifer, and Brian collapsed onto my parents' couch, his head in his hands. "I had no idea," he whispered. "All these years, Mom's been. Now you know why I had to get away," I said. My phone buzzed again and again with Jennifer's desperate messages. She was telling everyone I'd had a breakdown and kidnapped Isla. But this time, her lies would cost her everything. "No more playing nice," Brian said, looking up at me. "That woman needs to face consequences." He was right. Looking at my sleeping daughter, I knew I had to act. With Julia's help, I compiled everything: text messages, witness statements, photos, and a detailed log of incidents. My parents hired a top-notch attorney who specialized in family law. "We got more than enough for a restraining order," the attorney confirmed. "Jennifer's pattern of harassment is clear." At the courthouse, Jennifer's facade cracked. "You're really doing this to your own mother?" she shrieked at Brian in the hallway. "After everything I've sacrificed for you?" "No, Mom," Brian said firmly. "You did this. I've seen the evidence, the lies, the manipulation, what you did to Linda and everyone else. You crossed every line." The judge reviewed the evidence carefully. My documentation included statements from Linda and 3 other women Jennifer had terrorized over the years. Your Honor, I began, my voice steady. She even enlisted her friend, Officer Tom, to perform unauthorized background checks on me and my family. She used that information to threaten and harass us. That revelation sparked an immediate internal affairs investigation. Officer Tom faced suspension and possible termination for misusing police resources at Jennifer's behest. The case took an unexpected turn when Samantha, Brian's sister-in-law, arrived to testify. Her voice shook as she shared her story. She convinced my husband I was cheating and almost destroyed our marriage, Samantha said. She hacked my social media, spread rumors at church. Jennifer does this to anyone she feels threatens her control. The judge didn't hesitate. The restraining order was granted. Jennifer was legally barred from contacting us or coming within 500 feet of Isla. Outside the courthouse, Jennifer glared at me, venom in her voice. This is what you wanted all along, isn't it? To steal my son and destroy our family. You won't get away with this. No, Jennifer, I replied calmly. You did that all by yourself. Every lie, every manipulation, every toxic action, that was all you. Brian and I began intensive marriage counseling. During one particularly emotional session, he broke down completely. I should have protected you and Isla, he said through tears. I was so blind. She's manipulated me my whole life, and I let her do the same to you. We're healing now, I said, holding his hand. That's what matters. Isla will have a better future because of these changes. The truth about Jennifer spread through the community like wildfire. Her church friends stopped calling. Her bridge club discreetly removed her from their roster. Women she had tormented for years finally felt free to share their stories on social media and in local groups. I threw myself into my work, earning a promotion to head nurse. The hospital administration praised my leadership during crisis. Emma, my supervisor, said, "We'd like you to lead our new maternal care unit. Your experience and compassion make you perfect for this role." Meanwhile, Jennifer's life fell apart. She attempted desperate damage control, playing the victim on social media, but no one bought it. She lost her volunteer positions, her social circle, and the facade of respectability she had built over the years. One evening, as I looked at photos of Isla surrounded by genuine love and joy, I felt truly free. Jennifer's attempts to control and manipulate had failed spectacularly. She had lost everything: her son, her granddaughter, her reputation, and her social standing. My phone buzzed with a message from an unknown number. You'll regret this someday. No one can keep me from my family forever. I blocked the number without hesitation. Jennifer would never understand that she caused her own downfall. Meanwhile, Isla would grow up surrounded by healthy relationships and real love, never knowing the toxicity of her grandmother's manipulation. That, I realized, was the best revenge of all: living well and breaking the cycle of abuse. This story was a social experiment, and now I have some sensitive questions for you. When dealing with toxic in-laws, where do you draw the line between keeping the peace and protecting your child? Jennifer used the police and community against me, but some say I should have been more patient for the sake of family unity.